By 2024, you had the economy growing at 2.5%. You had inflation in the 2 plus a few tenths on a 12-month basis by the end of the year. And you had the employment market. You still had the labor market at essentially full employment. So I would call that a soft landing. We had it there. Then since then, we've had to face a much smaller source of inflation, which is the tariff inflation is visible, and we think it's really just a one-time price increase. That's been our thinking since the beginning. Right now, we think it's adding somewhere between 0.5 and a full percentage point to inflation, but that's a much smaller thing than we saw during the pandemic inflation. And you know, and of course now we're facing events in the Middle East, which will certainly affect gas prices, and we feel like our policy is in a good place for us to wait and see how that turns out. You mentioned private credit. So private credit is something, as you guys are probably following, it's a relatively small part of a very large asset pool. We're watching it super carefully, as everyone is. We're talking to the people in the industry and investors and everything. I think we understand it. We're monitoring it for looking for things that might lead to greater contagion or greater losses or connections to the banking system. And you know, we're going to do that. Again, you're not going to hear people say, oh, there's no problem here, because that's a jinx. But nonetheless, it's something that we're following very carefully.